Do you live with chronic inflammation or pain? If you do, I want to tell you about Tanesi. They are an incredible CBD company, but here's the difference. They have found not just CBD, but CBDA to be 2 times better than CBD alone and better than over-the-counter ibuprofen. And this is in their products. They have a full range of products that help you to find the product that's perfect for you, from lotions to salves, sports stick, soft gels, tinctures, and so much more. I found this company a few months ago when I was having some joint pain, and I got to tell you, it is all but gone. I have felt so much better since using this tincture. I recommend it highly. And what I love is satisfaction guaranteed. Try Tanesi products for 30 days. And if you don't love them, they will give you a full refund. These products are university developed by a team of chemists and biologists. Let me just tell you, this is the real deal. Here you go. Go to Tanesi.com and use code ADULT to get 50% off at checkout. That's TANASI.com to get 50% off your first order with promo code ADULT. Hi, I'm Michelle Chalfant, psychotherapist, holistic life coach, and human just like you, learning to navigate life's challenges. With over 25 years experience, I teach people how to get healthy using the adult chair model. The adult chair model is where simple psychology meets grounded spirituality, and it teaches us how to become healthy adults. From anxiety and depression to codependency and relationship issues, you can use the adult chair for just about anything. Each week, I share practical tips, tools, and advice from myself and a wide range of experts on how to get unstuck, how to live authentically, and how to truly love yourself, all while sitting in your adult chair. Welcome to the Adult Chair Podcast. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Adult Chair Podcast. I am Michelle Chalfant. I want to start out with some gratitude for all of you. So thank you. Thank you for, we were inundated with birthday messages. It was my birthday on November 9th. So last week we got a lot of lovely birthday love. And I want to say thank you. And thank you for all of you that wrote and gave a 5-star review wherever that you listen to this podcast. It helps other people find us. And I told you, I really do read them. I go in search of them. I love your feedback. So I just want to start out by saying thank you. All right. So let's talk about this week. Can you believe that Thanksgiving is 1 week away? I'm not sure how we got in here so fast because I feel like it was May, like last week, but it is upon us. The holiday season. Yes. And guess what happens during the holidays? More than ever, I find this happens more than ever throughout the year, is that we fall into people pleasing, our codependency gets activated, and we fall into exhaustion, or we can fall into exhaustion if we're not careful. So today's show, I'm going to talk to you about how we prevent that, how we can live more in balance during the holiday season, because it can be rough for us and we can fall out of balance pretty darn quickly if we are not careful. So today I've got, I think, 4 or 5 tips on how you stay in balance. And it's not just about staying in balance. I really want to help you to learn how to start to transform out of people pleasing and codependency. So I really think you're going to like this show today. I've got some good stuff in here for you. But in case you've missed it, I want to remind you that the Adult Chair Coaching Certification Program is live just for a few more weeks. So if you feel the call to help others, if you feel this passion in your heart, and you just say, I just love helping other people, but I don't know how to do it. I want to get going, but I don't know where to turn. This is it. I'm looking for people to join us in next year's coaching certification program. It starts in January, and we'd love to have you. No experience necessary. Yes, you heard me right. I actually like when people come to us without experience because I like to teach you everything with sort of like a blank slate. But even if you have experience in coaching or anything else, we'd like you to. You don't have to have experience in psychology, none of it. Honestly, we teach you everything that you need to know, including we give you a business training, you get a website. We help our coaches graduate with empowered tools to learn how to grow a business. And of course, as great coaches. So check it out, theadultchair.com/certification. We have just a few more weeks or that we're open for this. So make sure you check it out, theadultchair.com/certification. Okay, let's jump on into the podcast for today. How do we stop, or again, let's talk about maybe just getting more in balance with people pleasing, codependency. So we do not fall into the holiday exhaustion. And I got to say, because I am, as you all know, a recovering codependent and people pleaser, exhaustion was something that happened year round for me, not just during the holidays. So I think a lot of you can probably relate to this. It's freaking exhausting to live like this. So what do we do, especially during the holidays? It's a really happy time, right? But it can also be very triggering, very triggering. I mean, I was a huge napper year round, but holy moly, I took some serious naps around the holidays. And last week, speaking of triggers, I spoke to you about triggers and how do we move through them? What do we do with triggers? So if you didn't hear that show, make sure you listen to that one as well. But this week, we're going to talk about how do we minimize and bring ourselves into balance when we fall into that people-pleasing and codependency tendency, which again gets so activated during the holidays. So let me just start out by saying, I don't believe that we can, quote unquote, heal or transform our codependency in just a few short weeks or our people pleasing. You can't do that in a day or even in a 4-week period during the holidays, but you can begin the journey of transforming these habits, or even I would call them addictions, and begin to rewire our brain for balance. That's what we're doing today. This is big stuff because we can mentally just stop doing this and say, okay, I'm not going to people please today, or I'm not going to do this today. But what we really want to do is rewire the brain for balance. It's about the brain here because our brains are wired incorrectly. We have these automatic, this is why I look at these things like habits. It's like we're just in bad habits with these things and we might have done them our whole lives. The other thing is codependency, it's an addiction. It's an addiction to other. The focus is outside of self and we're addicted to other people to feel then a sense of self. So without others, we don't know who we are. So it's an actual addiction. And during the holiday time, man, can we get triggered into more extreme people pleasing and codependency? Because we are around more people, more than usual, and more demands are placed on us during this time. So, we may have to show up and host a holiday meal. We have to just show up and go to holiday meals or parties. We've got to buy gifts. We've got to organize so much during this time. It's truly exhausting. Even if you're not a people pleaser or a codependent, everyone is drained. I mean, I can't talk to, I remember reading a statistic that this is the most stressful time of the year. Even though it's happy, it's so stressful for people. So what the heck can we do about it? So I'm going to go over some tips with you to help you to begin your journey into balance. And how about having more energy during the holidays? And if you continue to use these practices, guess what? You will find greater balance in your life all year long. Like, can you even imagine? Yeah, pretty amazing. Okay, so let us begin. Number 1, first tip, awareness of what I'm doing and how I'm showing up. This is the most difficult step because most of us that are people pleasers and codependents, we don't even freaking know. We have no idea. We're just living our lives exhausted and putting our attention outside of self. We don't know that we're doing this. So if you have recently discovered, hey, I'm exhausted, take a good look around and ask yourself, gosh, could this be me? Ask friends, go to a coach, go to a therapist, ask people, Google. Google is your friend. Research, codependency, people pleasing. Do I do this? Why am I so tired all the time? We want to become aware of what we're doing and how we're showing up. Do you extend yourself to others every single day? Do you think of others all the time? What is going on with you? So it's really about connecting back to you. And with codependency, we're wired to look and seek outside of ourselves to feel whole and really to see and feel who we are. It's our identity. We don't know who we are without others. We really don't know who we are. It's kind of crazy. And we see our identities as a role. Okay, so let me hear me on this. We are doers instead of just being and being okay with self. And we need others. Like we have a role. I'm a fixer. I'm a helper. I take care of things. Da 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 da. That's a role that we play. That's not who we are. But when we're codependent and even people pleasers, we get that very confused. We think that's who we are. Oh, I'm here for everyone. People can lean on me. Oh, I take care of everybody. That's okay. And that's really nice. And I'm not saying to be cold. And I know because I myself am a recovering coda, but also I've worked with, oh my gosh, I've lost track, over 25 years, countless clients. And so many people say, well, isn't that mean if I'm not thinking of others first, if I'm not putting others first? No, it's not mean. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy to put others first. Healthy is checking in with self first and knowing what's going on within ourselves. I'm not suggesting that you stop being a caring person. What I am suggesting is that you start with you first, taking care of you, becoming aware of what you're doing and how you're showing up, and then go to other. Things are going to change with how you go to other. And that's the wiring that's incorrect, is we zoom out to other people first and we are last on our list. Okay. Look at your list of life and how you show up in life and how you take care of others. Where are you on that list? If you're at the bottom or near the bottom, not healthy for you. So the first thing we want to do is raise our awareness to all of this. Okay. It's that our identity and sense of self is dependent on other people outside of me. If that's you, continue to listen. You're going to have some really great tips coming up for you. So I remember feeling this way, like, gosh, if I'm not helping someone else or fixing someone else, I don't know who I am. If nobody needed me, I would feel weird. I'd be like, well, I almost at times would feel depressed because my identity was not getting filled up by other. So it's very twisted when we are codependent. It's like we really have a difficult time of seeing who we are. I absolutely did. So that's number one. Okay. And I want to remind you, when we own this, like, wow, that's me. Wow, I recognize that I'm showing up in this way. Please don't blame yourself, judge, shame yourself, etc. This is not what this is about. This is just about raising your awareness. Like, wow, I didn't know that was me. I recognize that's me. Now what do I do? Okay. It's just a fact and we can change it. Here's number two. This is how we're going to change it. We want to begin to bring the attention back to self. Okay. And that's focusing on self first, just like I was saying. And I got to tell you, it's going to feel uncomfortable. But this is where the rewiring of our brains begin. It's beautiful. It's beautifully uncomfortable. How about I say it like that? So how in the world do we bring our attention back to self? Number one, slow down. When we are people pleasers and codependents, we have automatic reactions to other people, okay? We think we know what they need. We're going to run out and fix. We're going to take care of their needs even before they know what their needs are. So what we want to do is, this is hard, slow down, okay? We're raising our awareness and slowing down, and we're waiting for other people to ask for our help, right? So you want to ask yourself, wait, did they ask me to help them? Did they ask me for guidance on the problem that they're having, or am I rushing in and fixing it? Right? Ask yourself these questions. We want to stop rushing in and fixing, and we want to stop saying yes, 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 yes to everything and everybody before we check in with self. And the only way we can do that is to slow down. Okay. Slowing down and waiting for the ask is huge. And we want to spend time daily throughout the day, pausing and breathing. I literally set a timer on my cell phone every day throughout the day. I call these micro moments. So it's 1 to 2 minutes a day. I close my eyes and I just breathe slowly. Sometimes I put my hand on my heart, sometimes not. And I just breathe and reconnect to myself. This is very grounding. And it helps me to stay connected to myself and in balance. It takes practice, but I do this every morning when I get up, and then I do it again around lunch, and then I do it again around dinner. And sometimes I do it even a couple times in between. I mean, literally it's 6 minutes a day, sometimes 8 or 10. I think we all have 8 to 10 minutes a day, tops, right? In order for you to reconnect. But even if you can start inserting this even once a day, maybe every morning or once in the morning or once in the afternoon, set your timer for 1 minute if this feels awkward and just slow down and breathe. That's it. That's it. This will help you to stay connected to yourself. For those people pleasers out there that may not be codependent, because here's the thing, a lot of codependents are just people pleasers, but sometimes it doesn't go both ways. But if you're a people pleaser, you might not even know that you're yesing everybody without knowing how you feel, which brings us to our next one. So these are really important tips, even if you're just a people pleaser. Check in with yourself is number 2. This is number 2 under bringing yourself back to or bringing your attention back to self. So we're going to slow down. Number 2, check in with yourself. This is a foreign language for people pleasers and codependents. Like, what do you mean check in with myself? This is a necessary step to working your way out of these habits. And again, when I say that people pleasing and habits are people pleasing and codependency are habits, they're habitual thoughts that we have. They're wired into the brain. I'm not making light of these. They're a big deal. I was both of these. I get it. But I will say this, they are habits. And just like any other habit, we can change those habits with the right tools and steps. And that's what we're talking about. So stop what you're doing a few times a day. Okay. And this is huge because it puts a break in our day. It wakes us up. It creates awareness in the middle of the day. And ask yourself, this is hard. What am I feeling? What am I feeling right now? This is a weird thing to do with codependents and people pleasers because, again, our attention is outside of self. So to ask this question is like, wait, what? What am I feeling? I don't know. And I can't tell you the number of people, including myself, that over the years that I've worked with, when I ask this question, they look at me like I have 5 heads. Like, what do you mean? What am I feeling? I can tell you what my husband, wife, children, mother, father, friends, everyone else is feeling. I have no idea what I'm feeling. And that's a problem. It's a problem that we don't know what we're feeling. So we want to start practicing this. Okay. How do I feel? Close your eyes. Bring your awareness inside of you. Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel sad? Do you feel drained? Do you feel happy? Only you know, and the only way to find out is to tune into yourself. We are not good at noticing what we're feeling or tuning into our emotions. And this is a key step to breaking this cycle and habit of people pleasing and codependency. So you want to learn how to stay with the emotions that are inside of you. Now, I can hear many of you asking me, I don't feel anything. I don't know what I'm feeling. Tune into your body. Do a body scan very slowly, head to toe. What do you notice inside your body? Oh, my heart hurts. Oh, my throat is tight. Stay with it. Keep your attention on it. That's perfect. You don't have to come up with a word that says I'm overwhelmed. That's okay. But do notice what's going on physically with your body. This will help to start rewiring the brain. And when we stay with it and holding our attention on whatever feels tight in the body, it helps to move that emotion. Even though you don't know what it is, it's okay. All right. This is so beneficial, you guys. These practices are going to change how you act and react and respond over the holidays. But again, year round. Okay. This is the third item under attuning to self. Okay. Number 3, ask yourself. Now this one's a doozy. This is one you're going to be like, what? I have no idea. What do I need? That's the next one. So we've got number 1, slow down. Number 2, check in with yourself and what am I feeling? And number 3, what do I need? Okay, again, codependence. We know what everyone else needs. I have no idea what I need, but I know what you need. Okay. I don't know what I need. So this is a weird one because I can't tell you the number of people, again, that I've asked this question to over the years. Like, so let me ask you this question. What do you need? And they look at me like, what do you mean? What do I need? Yeah. What do you need? Well, I don't know. So check in. The more time you spend tuning into yourself, even if your mind is blank, you might say, I have no idea. It will come. Getting curious about when you say, what do I need? The answers will come. You have to just sit with it and keep asking yourself that question. What do I need right now? What do I need for today? What do I need this week, this month, this year, whatever you want to say? Just start exploring this idea that, guess what? You have needs like every other human on the planet. Everyone has needs. Some of us just aren't in touch with those needs. And it's so important for healing and transforming of these items. I remember asking a client one time, I said, what do you need? And she looked at me like, oh my God. And then she started to cry. And I was like, oh, it hurt my heart. And I said, oh my goodness. And she says, I honestly have no idea. And we talked about it. I said, you know what? Your brain is just wired to not go there. Your brain is wired for other and not for you. And it's okay. It will change. And it did change. And in the end, I remember after a couple of months, then we giggled about it. And she laughed. First, she says, I can't believe I didn't know. And I giggled. I said, good God, I get it. I was the same way. I completely get it. We don't know our needs if we aren't accustomed to checking in with self. In fact, I have a memory right now that's coming to me. I remember someone many years ago asking me, hey, what would you do if someone handed you a check for $1 million? Like right now, what would you do? My mind went blank. I was like, oh God, I have no idea. And I sat there. It bothered me so much. I couldn't think of one thing. I had like a blank slate in my head. I was like, I don't know. No clue. And I called one of my fellow Coda friends and I said, what would you do with $1 million? And she said, I have no idea. And I was like, oh, thank God. It's not just me. And I realized, again, in working with clients over all these years, like, this is a tough question. What would we do with $1 million? What do you need? Like all these things, they're questions like we don't make it about ourselves when we are codependent or even people pleasers because the attention is outside of self. So these practices help to bring you back in. Okay, here's the last one. Here we go. Ready? This is a doozy too. This is going to make your head spin. The last thing we want to do is work on setting boundaries. Yeah, I know. You're thinking, are you crazy? What the heck is a boundary? I get it. I had no idea how to set boundaries. So I absolutely get it. But they're essential for codependents and people pleasers. And here's the thing though, again, if you practice these things I just mentioned to you, boundaries become easier. Because if I don't know what I feel or what I need, how in the world am I going to set a boundary? That's what boundaries are all about. It's sharing with others what I feel and what I need, right? So, and you don't know how to take care of yourself if you're not tuning into self. So it's a really, really big deal. A boundary is a simple request and teaches others how we want to be treated. That's it. That's it. But now sometimes boundaries can be silent. Sometimes boundaries are just a statement. But what we want to remember when we set boundaries is never go into all these apologies and explanations because the people get lost that are listening. We want them to be short and sweet, and I call these bullet point boundaries. So here's the problem, though. If we're not taught how to set healthy boundaries or not shown how to do that, we won't know how to do it. And number two, as codependents or people pleasers, boundaries not only feel miserable, but they feel awful and mean. And this could not be further from the truth because boundaries keep us safe and protected, right? That's what boundaries do. They're not mean. Boundaries are not mean. Here are some boundary statements specific to the holidays as we move into the holidays, because when we realize like, gosh, I don't want to do this or that, or I need this to happen at this event, how in the world do we convey this? Well, we do it with boundaries. So here's a couple suggestions. Thank you for the invite, but we have other plans that day. Have a wonderful time. There it is. You're not saying, hey, I'm so sorry I can't come. Let me tell you why, blah, 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 blah. All the apologies and explanations, totally unnecessary. If someone asks you to do something you're not interested in doing, holiday parties, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever the heck you celebrate, you just have to say, thank you for the invite. We have other plans, or I have other plans. Have a wonderful time. I'll see you in the new year. Done. Move on. It's not mean. It's you taking care of you, which is a foreign concept. We'd love to come by. Here's another one for you. We'd love to come by and see everyone, but we already have Thanksgiving plans. How about we come for dessert? So this is great if you only want to see people for a short amount of time, okay? Because what happens is sometimes we don't want to be around family or friends for like the 5-hour time that everyone wants us to come over for, but we wouldn't mind swinging in for an hour. So go there for appetizers, go there for dessert, but you don't have to sacrifice yourself and stay there for the whole 5, 6, 7, 10 hours that sometimes drag on as we have holiday events, right? Just swing in and swing out. And that's an appetizer or a dessert. Another boundary is really easy. Oh, no, thank you, but thanks so much for inviting me. Or no, thank you, but thanks for asking. And then you move on with your topic of conversation. So no, thank you is another one. No is a complete sentence, remember, but that can be hard for some people. So say no, thanks, but thanks for asking. Another boundary is if you're hosting an event and it can get heated because of various conversations like religion, like politics, all that kind of thing. You set the boundary ahead of time. Say, hey, you can send out a group text or an email, or even say, tell people on the phone when you're inviting them, whatever's comfortable for you. You just say, hey, listen, we want to have we're so excited to see everybody. Just wanted you to know we're going to keep politics off or out of the conversation during this Thanksgiving or this Christmas or whatever you're doing. We don't want to bring that into the house because we want everyone to have a lovely time. We appreciate you not bringing up politics. Done. Moving on. Okay. So you set the boundary for what's allowed, for what you're allowing in your home. Okay. And another boundary, if someone's being inappropriate, if someone's drinking too much or whatever, you ask them or throw them in a cab or an Uber, and it's just not okay. And these are things we really want to get clear about for ourselves. Again, if I don't know what I'm feeling and what my needs are, I won't know when I need to set a boundary. That's why these other steps before this are very, very important. I want to remind you that boundaries are your right. It's how we keep ourselves safe and protected. And so many of us did not grow up with someone that displayed or modeled for us healthy boundaries. So start doing this for you to teach others how to do it in a healthy way. We model for other humans how to be healthy. So start doing this for you. Okay. This is really one of the best boundaries that you can set is by just not even showing up. And again, saying, I'm so sorry I can't come, or I'm not feeling well, or just leaving early. I've swung into events where I really don't want to be there, but I do love the host or the hostess. So I show up, make an appearance, have an appetizer, and then I have another party to go to. So I just move on. And that's okay too. So again, if you're connecting back with yourself and knowing what you feel and what you need, this becomes easier and easier and easier. So my very last point is that self-care is not selfish. Selfish is eating all the mashed potatoes at the family function or the holiday function, right? That's eating all the mashed potatoes and not caring if 3 other people haven't even eaten them yet or hadn't had a portion yet. So self-care is one of the most self-loving acts that you can do. Self-care. What do I need? What feels good for me? Do I need a nap? Do I need a break? Do I need to have so-and-so go out and buy those gifts? Can I have someone else do the holiday meal and I bring an appetizer? What do you need? You have to stop sacrificing yourself for other and get really clear about what you need. That's how you stay healthy. Okay. And that is how you really start to heal people pleasing and codependency. You can't do it though without these other steps. So start checking in with how you feel and what you need and taking a good look at boundaries and how you use them in your life or lack thereof, of course. It is essential these things are essential for making it through the holidays, but also year round. These practices will rewire your brain and help you to discover the real, authentic you. I promise you, my friends, the authentic you is in there. It's just it's covered up. And this is how you uncover and discover the true, authentic you. Okay. I wish you a very, very happy holiday and Thanksgiving next week. And just want to remind you one more time. We need coaches. I am looking for people to help me to heal this world. We need you. So if you feel a call to helping others and you love what we talk about in this Adult Chair podcast, check it out, theadultchair.com/certification. And I will see you next week right here on Thanksgiving Day in the Adult Chair.